And Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning.
I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions
Fine.
for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine.
She wants to make people feel good, and I respect that. And then we've had people like Dolly Parton, and I think you asked her, or
Are you
maybe,
a feminist?
Are you a feminist? And she said,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But then you pushed her, and she said, yeah, I guess I am.
Carrie Underwood just hit The View harder than a Louisville Slugger to both headlights. Turns out, our country queen's got more than just a powerful set of pipes. She's got a billion-dollar legal punch, too. Who knew Carrie could make The View cry prettier than she does in her music videos? Stick around to see how this small-town girl from Oklahoma just became the new heavyweight champ of daytime TV lawsuits. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Well. Looks like our country queen Carrie Underwood isn't just belting out tunes anymore. She's belting out lawsuits. Who'd have thunk it? Our little small-town girl with the pipes of an angel has grown up and gotten herself some fancy lawyers. And boy, did she need them. So picture this. Carrie sitting pretty on her pile of hit records. 70 million worldwide, y'all. That's enough breakup songs to make every ex in America cry. When suddenly, the ladies of The View decide to pick a fight.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity.
Oh, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion?
So she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
Now, we all know Carrie can throw down with the best of them in her songs, but who knew she could bring that same fire to the courtroom? Let's rewind a bit. Remember when Carrie was just a bright-eyed hopeful on American Idol? She was sweeter than a peach pie at a county fair. But don't let that fool ya. Our girl's got some steel underneath all that sugar, and The View found that out the hard way. So what got Carrie's cowboy boots in a twist? Well, it wasn't The View's fashion choices, though between you and me, they could use a country makeover. Nope, it was something a whole lot more serious. Turns out the gals at The View thought they could run their mouths about Carrie's political views. Big mistake. Huge. Now, Carrie might sing about taking a Louisville Slugger to both headlights.
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then.
Okay.
Oh, no one else had any
So
thoughts?
there we are.
No, we've had people like Reba McEntire come on
Yes.
and say that, she doesn't want to talk about politics. She just wants to sing.
I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
I would love for you to do a roast at the Trump inauguration.
Yeah.
But this time, she decided to take a swing at The View's wallet instead. And let me tell you, she hit a home run. You see, folks, The View thought they could push around our country sweetheart. They probably figured, hey, she's just a singer, what's she gonna do? Well, they found out real quick that Carrie's got more than just a pretty voice. She's got a pretty good head on her shoulders, too. So while The View was busy yapping their traps, Carrie was busy lawyering up. And before you could say, Jesus, take the wheel, she was steering that lawsuit right into their bank account. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did little old Carrie manage to take on the big bad View? Well, stick around, because we're about to spill the beans on how Carrie turned those not-so-nice comments into a payday that'd make even Jeff Bezos jealous. Alright folks, let's talk about how our country queen Carrie Underwood turned The View into her own personal piggy bank.
I think people feel pretty strongly about it. I think art is art, and you have a right to perform where you want to perform.
Do what you do. Listen, it's like, people do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
They did what they did. They felt that's what they needed to do, and I got to stand behind them.
I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
Well, they wouldn't ask me, so I have nothing to say.
You know how they say revenge is a dish best served cold? Well, Carrie served it up with a side of cold, hard cash. So picture this. The View ladies are sitting around, sipping their coffee, thinking they're just having a little chit-chat about Carrie's political views. But oops, they must have forgotten that in America, you can't just run your mouth without consequences, especially when you're talking about someone who can hit notes higher than Snoop Dogg on April 20th. Now, Carrie's not one to take things lying down. She's more of a Jesus take the wheel kind of gal, except this time, she took the wheel herself and drove that lawsuit right into The View's parking lot.
If I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe they have the same right.
Of course.
And so
That's
I have
true.
to, I have to support. No, because it was always in the books. Who knew this was going to be the day that he chose? Because it's also a very interesting day, right? The 21st.
It's Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
Doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in what I won't be watching, you know, but that's me.
Yeah, I've scheduled a spa day.
I'm not even going to tell you what I'm doing.
And boy, did it hit harder than a cowboy's boot on a honky-tonk floor. You're probably wondering, how much can a celeb actually sue for? Well, Carrie's lawyers looked at each other and said, $1 billion sounds about right. That's right, folks, $1 billion, with a B. That's enough money to buy every The View viewer a lifetime supply of hairspray and still have enough left over to build a solid gold tour bus. As the case dragged on, The View hosts were sweating more than Trump at a fact-checking convention. They were probably wishing they could go back in time and zip their lips faster than you can say before he cheats. But here's the kicker, y'all. Carrie actually won. She walked away with a cool $1 billion. Talk about making bank. I bet The View ladies are wishing they'd stuck to talking about their favorite casserole recipes instead of messing with our country music, darling. Now, you might be thinking, ain't no way The View can afford to pay that kind of money. Well, you're not wrong. Word on the street is they're gonna have to start selling ad space on their coffee mugs just to keep the lights on. They might even have to rename the show to The Debt at this rate. Well, folks, it looks like Carrie Underwood just turned The View into The Sued. Our country queen didn't just win a lawsuit, she basically bought herself a shiny new network. Talk about a plot twist. Carrie went from singing about smashing cheaters' headlights to smashing ABC's bank account. And hey, let's not forget the real lesson here. Mess with a country star, and you might end up serving hot dogs at their next tailgate party. The View's hosts are probably wishing they could go back in time and trade places with that guy from before he cheats. At least he only lost a car. So what's next in the world of celebrity cage matches? Maybe we'll see Taylor Swift take on Fox News in a battle of bad blood. Or how about Dolly Parton versus CNN in a clash of big hair and bigger headlines? One thing's for sure, in the Wild West of celebrity lawsuits, Carrie Underwood just became the new sheriff in town. Yeehaw, y'all!